Hi, I'm David No, directed Battle of the Wheels. This film came about basically because I wanted to make something visual effectsy that was non-traditionally visual effectsy, and then I just threw in a few concepts like the idea of self-identity and the idea of self-limitation, and sort of the script came out of it.
All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. I mean, there was such a selection, a variety of different kinds of stories, genres going on in this program. I mean, and then I'll just like mention a few things that I've learned from reading about the films. So Sun's film, you actually filmed that in New York, right? Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of crazy. I was like, so it's just Korean drama, but it's like shot in New York. Yeah, and yeah. So when you go about like coming up with ideas, like are you? What's the biggest challenge really for you? And then do you find obstacles or challenges in getting those ideas? Like, do you have to make compromises? If everybody would speak a little bit about that.
I think I speak for most filmmakers, independent filmmakers, that the biggest challenge is probably money. That's my guess. I don't know, maybe I don't have that in common with other people, but that's my biggest challenge. And secondly, actually right now I'm working on another short film that I want to direct, and the hardest part that I've actually had, and I live in Los Angeles, and I'm right next to Koreatown, which is the largest Korean population outside of Korea, and it's very hard for me to find somebody to play my father. So I need an actor who's Korean, who also can speak English, that lives in Los Angeles, that's probably about 70 years old, 60 or 70. And that's been the biggest challenge. So I feel like as an actress, I've been working my way up, acting in television and film for a long time. But as you get older, because the parts are so scarce, that I think the older actors, Asian American actors, tend to fall out because they need a job, they need to make money. So from my perspective, it's been very difficult. I've reached out to many people, agents and casting directors, famous casting directors, and they all kind of tell me how difficult it is to find that particular part. So I think that's the biggest challenge that I'm finding. Yeah.
I think the biggest challenge, I think like Grace mentioned about budget, but I act for my films, and like because it's like in the format of animation, so I'm kind of using that as my way of dealing with reality in a way, and creating my own reality through different mediums. Yeah. So.
For me, I suffer with different problems. First of all, I don't speak Korean. My most of my crew are Korean or like a Chinese Korean, the minority, and I have to use translator to help me to direct that. But sometimes when you speak your mother language, it's a little different, especially when you have a conflict. So some words transfer to something else to make people feel this different way. So later on, I make friends with my actors, my actress, and we know each other. So everything goes better later on. But it's very beginning we had a very big conflict, and even we should slow down and stop everything to make each other to know each other, to comprehension. The second thing is the art production. My work is super big and super large, and it's very illustration. So no one knows it should look like. So it's all in my imagination. So my art production department suffer on very big pressure, and they how to make the plan once again. And when we make that, it looks like totally different in in my imagination. But we still try to make it because we shoot it in the studio. It's not real. Like for the outside is real, but for inside we shoot in the studio. So it takes time and it's very easy to how to say that to make it like not that real. The third problem is the location. So we shoot that from the spring to the winter, and we travel 1,000 miles from Korea to China. We try to find a different place to shoot the film, and I can still remember the winter thing. We shoot that under the like -20 Celsius, and we shot that with 24 hours super cold. We almost died with that.
I really, really agree with Grace, and your question really made me like cry because like I'm shooting like from next Friday, and I still need like $4,000 or $5,000 because like the money and the like compromise. I really like without money I have to compromise or something, but I know the result of the compromise. Even like it's my first love, like because of the budget or scheduling everything, like I had to like shoot 40 shots a day within like so in only 4 days like that. So so I don't want to like suffer the problem again. So yeah, I need money and I'm pretty open to the donation. If you're interested, like please come to me. Thank you.
All right then. Of course, no money, no time. That's always the situation with my film. The location that I shot, the sort of disused factory, just happened to be heritage listed, built by the Japanese, old water pumping station, owned by the city of Seoul. Also, you know, within the realms of control of the Heritage Society as well as a construction company. So basically everyone said no, it took me about 2 months to get the permission, but I was going to get it because there was no reason for them to say no. And then on the last day of filming, the NIS, which is kind of the Korean CIA, and the army came and shut me down because they don't like aerial drone photography when the sun goes down.
But you got it. You got a shot.
Yeah, I got it, but you know, I just needed that 10 minutes more. The perfect time was when the sun was almost down, the street lights were on, and the street lights were almost on.
Awesome. Any questions from the audience? Yeah, we'll take questions from the audience if anybody has anything.
I have a question for Grace, actually. You talked in the beginning about just where you see virtual reality going, and I guess in the past couple of years, we've seen a lot of films that have explored that reality. Where do you see it in the future? Where do you see that realm going?
I think that it's going to expand into, well, definitely the augmented reality now with Pokemon and everything. Now people know what augmented reality is, and this program that she's experiencing is actually augmented reality. So I think that augmented reality is actually going to be much more, it's going to be bigger than virtual reality. And there's so many things that are going on, like those contact lenses, that's a real thing. You know, the only thing that they're working on right now is they're having problems because people's eyes are burning because the antennas in them are heating up. So there's definitely things that are happening that are going to change things. And for me, what's interesting is not so much the technology, but how we decide to use it. And, you know, as you see, like with Sadie, the character, I think for her, it became an addiction. And I think that you're going to see more of that, where people are using it to get away from their real lives. And I hope that answered your question.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, anybody else? Another question from the audience? Okay, I just had a question for David Jang. Yeah, how did you get that production together? I mean, it was a pretty large production as well, right? How did that come about? Like, I mean, you had a big crew, or I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like crazy. You were like going to like different countries, and I mean, what was that production process like?
Well, it's a long story. And we even made a documentary with this 2-hour documentary. Like I really cried with that. I have a super big crew with 200 people in the crew because this is my company production. We just want to push ourselves to the limit to see how far, how great, how big project we can do. So we just try to challenge that. So we just if we see the problem, we just face to the problem. We don't avoid that. So okay, I'm a Chinese, so we have like a great a population. so it's easy to get people, a lot of people, but it's hard to organize them. Especially you have different nationality, people in your group. So it takes time. I use a year to make that, and sometimes some months we just stop and prepare for 1 month and shoot for 3 or 4 days. Then we prepare another season of thing. So little bit, one step, then make a huge production.
Okay, congratulations, though. What a feat. Question for David No. Did you go through any kind of I don't know, was it really challenging? I mean, actually, for maybe the three of the actors that were in their own film, like what kind of challenges did you have being in your own film, creatively and logistically?
Yeah, so this is the second film I've directed as a director-actor. It's never an easy thing to be the director-actor, especially on a no money, no time sort of situation, because you don't necessarily have the luxury of going and checking playback as much as you'd like to. You have to trust other people a lot around you. So my process is that I prepare quite thoroughly in pre-production. I shoot rehearsals with other actors playing my role. I work out my shots, I work out what I want. I sort of design the performance through that process. And I usually cut and edit to music, an animatic or a previous basically. And that becomes my blueprint to work off. And then other people can see that. And that's been very valuable working methodology, I guess. It helps other people see what you want. So also when I'm talking to other crew members or people that I want to bring into my production, straight away they can kind of see and understand what you're doing, and usually they jump on very quickly because of that. As opposed to, hey, I got this movie I want to shoot. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, this is the movie I'm going to shoot, and they're like, I see.
So you kind of pre-make the movie.
Pre-make a movie, yeah, especially because the type of films that I'm trying to make, I guess, or the level of filmmaking that I'm trying to do is kind of at the top level, using proper cameras, using proper color grading and proper sound design, all that sort of thing. It really helps to even get these professionals to lend their time when they can see that you're sort of got a game plan, you know what you're doing, and they like the project.
Any challenges with working with yourself as
the process of I guess because it's an animation, I guess the process is a little bit different than like acting like last time and then having to edit afterwards. So I mean, I guess like in my future films, I would like include more people somehow as my puppet puppets or characters, possibly. Yeah, so I think it's more about like this story needed my my presence, but it could be somebody else, like as a material. Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Grace.
I think it's the best thing ever because you don't have to tell anybody what to do. You don't have to communicate. It's like, oh, this is what I want, and I'm going to do it. And it's very selfish, but it's a control thing. I think I'm a control freak, so they're very. I mean, you do have to plan. I think for the time that it takes to watch. You know, right after you do a take and then you watch it, and that takes double time. You don't always do it, but having like one person that you really trust, which I did have a producer friend who I believe that, you know, she would tell me, I don't believe that you're masturbating. You know, she would tell me things like that. I don't believe you. And then I would do another take, you know. So having somebody on set, I think that really you can trust, it makes a big difference. But it takes longer.
All right. I think we're just about out of time, but we'll be hanging out in the bar area. And then also, does anybody else have a question, by the way? Or, oh, okay, back there.
Actually, well, I have a question for just have some question about like the movies. In the movies, like I think for Grace, I think at the end you close up to the left eye.
Yeah.
And then she had the sound. So does that mean that she's actually using that device in her like everyday life now? Is that what you're implying?
Definitely, you know, in the longer version, there is scenes that get cut. You know, they don't make the final cut, and in the feature film and in the longer director's cut of the short film, you do see that he leaves, her husband leaves with the kids, and you know, the grass is always greener. To me, is one of the themes. And once she realized that she lost her family and she lost her husband, the only way that she could get them back was through this virtual reality, augmented reality life. So definitely those kids weren't real and her husband wasn't real at the end. Is that what you were asking me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll just go quickly. So for Disgraceful, sorry if I'm taking too long. So Disgraceful Blue. So I want to know like you have like number 3 in every scene. I was just wondering what that was.
Oh, the 3.
It was like 3 always, like 3 heads, 3 arms, 3 everything.
Yeah, that
That's
was. Well, it comes kind of from the Cerebus. Cerebus, is that how to say it? Yeah, the dog with 3 heads. The gatekeeper. Yeah. So they're kind of the emotional supporters of the protagonist in the story, and they're kind of the gatekeepers, like who keeps appearing in a different format.
I guess. Can I go?
Yeah, go.
Alright. So for Princess Luna, you had like animals, changes, and then they multiply and they like increase the numbers. I thought that was really like random. Like I couldn't really figure out what it was. So I was just wondering like if you could explain what it was.
So the animal is a metaphor for it's just like it's a ruler. It should be when the evil uncle put one more guy into her world, so I put one more animal into her world. So the very first thing is 2 animals. The second one is 3 twin snakes, and the third one, the European dynasty, is for swan. And so the very first thing is 2 animals. Do you know why? Do you know why? Why the first chapter is 2 deers? Because the uncle is her first one. So I start from 2. in the very end, so many rabbit means a lot of guys had raped her already. So I use a very beautiful thing to describe a very dirty thing.
Okay. And I think we'll have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But thank you. Those are really great questions. And let's, we'll go into the bar area and make room for the next screening. I also wanted to let you guys know that if you're interested in checking out the next film, please talk to somebody at the desk, and maybe we can arrange something for you. So yeah. Other than that, we have basically our documentary feature competition program today with After Spring. Daddy Don't Go and Singers in the Band. Hope you'll all come out for that, and then we'll also have the after party after that, after the last screening around 11 o'clock. So, yeah. Anybody have anything else? Anything from stuff? We're good? Okay, thanks for coming.